shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun the command of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun they are the political, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He do they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Hello there.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun dá wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Sorry for the late start. Kind of encountered some little technical, issue. Now that we are here, share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary political. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
The tribunal has given a date to deliver their judgments, but there is more.
After
the initial warning, wetting the ground and all that by those who have been trying to gaslight you, the DSS has now moved into the whole fight. In their own case, they are ready to arrest as many people as possible before the soldiers will start shooting everybody. Some of the judges are already moving their families out of Nigeria. That is not news, but you should be aware of. Odili, Mary Odili, the one that gave this one a few days ago, telling you that if you have been defeated in an election, learn how to accept defeat. Don't bring the roof down. And on and on and on. She left Nigeria yesterday. She is currently in the UK, according to those in the know. Why did they choose Wednesday for the day to deliver the judgments? I'll tell you. MLC is going on strike from tomorrow and Wednesday, but the tribunal will deliver the judgment on Wednesday. They want to do it without anybody, in court, except those they want to be in court. And in this case, it is by invitation. So, you would have to watch it at home. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. I bet every one of you watching this video right now is aware that the tribunal, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Nigeria, has given the date to deliver their judgment on the petition of Peter Obi versus INEC, Tinubu, APC, as well as the case between Atiku versus Tinubu, APC, and INEC, and then another political party called APM or thereabouts. Now, in all of those of you, for those of you who have been following the, case, as well as those who have been raising the red flags about the compromised judiciary, okay? So, the tension of what this first judicial pronouncement on this 2023 electoral charade and the future of Nigeria after that has brought about so many commentators from across board, those who are in support of Tinubu and APC, Egbekegbe, those who are in support of Peter Obi, the obedient, those who are in support of Atiku, the SPV boys. For those who have been kind of in these different camps, there is this consensus, right, that something is going to go wrong and the judiciary will be responsible for it. And in the last few weeks, especially last few weeks, the judiciary themselves, or those who have a business with the judiciary themselves, they have been kind of trying to kind of impress it upon us that, listen, it is not going to be the responsibility of the judiciary on whichever way the judgment goes. But just before we go any further, this is just a proviso, right? Now, people are asking, they are saying, if the judiciary, who should be the last hope of a common man, as they'll say, if they want to adjudicate based on the evidence before them, right? They have the following 7 things that they would have to explain to the rest of Nigerians and the rest of the world of why Tinubu in the first place is allowed to be sworn in. These 7, you know what I mean? Now that should be, mostly it's actually like I said, it's like a consensus, like, even Atiku guys, they are working around that same 7 indictments. So the bottom line is judiciary, who are also Nigerians themselves. They are not those who conducted the election, of course. But if evidence before them shows that out of 176,000 polling units results, okay, 18,000 of them completely blank, no number, no figure, no nothing. 18,000 polling units. 25,000 polling unit results mutilated. That you have to kind of be very kind of meticulous in picking whatever they have tipex here and there. 25,000 polling units. In all, 43,000 polling units results are completely unexplainable. It's before them. So then they decided to kind of single out most of you who are the obedient. I don't know if you have noticed. You are the ones who kind of are more confident that you won the election. Even Tinubu, you know what I mean, knows that he didn't win an election. Atiku is not asking them to declare him winner. So that automatically makes it easier for them to point at you, these new entrants. Those of you they call the irritants, disrespectful, and they also call you the mob. Others call you fascist. And they are kind of building their own evidence around your rage. Number one, there is already an ongoing problems in Nigeria. There are already ongoing problems in Nigeria. And with the request, the constant and consistent request for give us a date, right? And then suddenly, they just came from the blues Wednesday, 1 day notice. Tomorrow is the only day you have, because day after that, they will deliver their judgment after all the gaslighting, which haven't really stopped, by the way. But there are latest updates on that. Why did the tribunal suddenly have to pick Wednesday among every other days? There is. Tinubu is on his way to Mumbai, being a New Delhi in India, where they want to hold G20 summit. That will be the first time that Tinubu will officially represent Nigeria in kind of that high caliber international meet, not like the kangaroo one that Macron organized because of Niger. No. The credibility and legitimacy of Tinubu as president of Nigeria is in question, and the whole world knows about it, but he's already sworn in. So what can we do? That was where Wike comes in. That was where the role and the speech delivered by Mary Odili 2 days ago, they started linking up now. They started making sense. So they want Tinubu, right, to be outside Nigeria when they will read the judgment that they've already written. For those who are around Wike, they said he is already celebrating. He's already told everyone around him it is going to be all 5. That is 5-5. 5 judges. And the whole judgment will come, and it's going to be for Tinubu. That is over. That between now and then next weekend, this was this past weekend though. So this week, the whole thing will be over. And in order to package this legitimacy thing, they said even America is aware. In fact, they are in on it. Something that will make it kind of look legitimate for Biden to meet with Tinubu in New York this month after the India trip. So how is it going to then play out? Let the tribunal bring forward their judgment day. Deliver that judgment just when you are outside Nigeria. Any reaction towards or after that, right? You won't be there. The military can actually step in. But there is another mix-up. Last week, NLC, they gave a warning that they were going to go on a 2-day warning strike. And that would be the 5th and the 6th. 6th of September. So which means that's already in the public domain. Okay? The judiciary must kind of be aware of that too. If I can be aware, and if some of you can be aware, they are aware too. So, there are Nigerians who have kind of been so pressed. They believe that something is not right. The judiciary is compromised. And no amount of evidence you see out right now is going to sway them in doing the right thing. So the distrust, the mistrust in the judiciary is so strong, that the reaction of this judiciary themselves, these judges and all of them, is just kind of laying credence to the suspicion of everyone. So people are like, we need this, or we are going to move to the tribunal this, we are going to mobilize this or that. If they burn the tribunal, if they burn them well, let them give a wrong judgment, let them give this or that. As people are kind of vituperating and mobilizing, it is already gaining momentum in Nigeria. Do you understand? This issue of all eyes on judiciary that you are hearing on social media and on the media in Nigeria is actually something that is gaining popularity on the streets already, giving them the concern that won't it, could there be a kind of an arrangement that the moment the judiciary delivers the judgment, people are just going to mobilize themselves. And in a case whereby all the information of all the judges, their families, their, every one of them, relatives and all that, have already been made public, trying to, like tell them that you are about to hand Nigeria over to drug dealers, criminals. So you will be responsible for what happened after. But behind the scene, the real people who are feeling the threats, or reacting to the threats, are the Tinubu's people. So their own expectation is that whether you like it or not, whether you scream from now till end of the world, okay, the tribunal will deliver the judgment and then legitimize Tinubu in order to boost his United Nations General Assembly meeting in New York the same month. So as already planned, Tinubu himself is already working around. He's already working with them on that. He's going to leave Nigeria either tonight or tomorrow. To be reassured that everything is well and fine, he met with the service chiefs today. Just telling them that this is the plan. This is what's going to happen. Okay? So some people are now kind of suspecting that, you see this NLC that has kind of, that is going on strike from tomorrow and Wednesday. Banks are joining them for the first time. Banks are joining them. It's going to be like a total shutdown. But a lot of people are suspecting that could be the usual trick. Get everybody to be so ready and then call it off. So that the tension of, there's going to be strike or there's going to be protest, whatever, right? Will be so this, and then they've done a meeting, nothing. Then tribunal will deliver their judgment. Any one of you who try to kind of show any displeasure, it's going to be a clamp down. I have seen people who are also saying, if it's going to go down, let it go down now. Maybe this is when Obi will know that this is not about him. Some are already saying that. But let's take a little bit of a step back, few steps back now. Do you know that at the same meeting where Mary Odili read that prepared threat-laden speech, the host called Gazama, who happened to also be a retired justice, in that same gathering, Ola Nipekun, Iro Nipekun, who Mary Odili said is an expert in election litigation, Gazama that hosted them actually warned them at that same gathering, talking about the destruction of democratic institutions in Niger and Gabon. He was telling the judges present in that gathering that when that happened, when the coup in Gabon happened, he sent texts to some of his friends, and some of them that responded that how they wish that happened in Nigeria now, because this country is gone. So which means saving this country right now is on the shoulder of the judiciary. Nobody said they go here, but the guy warned them. Now, wetting the floor, like I said, when Mary Odili threatened Nigerians, letting them know that if they are defeated, so if you are cheated, that's what she said. If you are cheated in an election, learn how to accept the defeat. Don't bring down the roof of the country because you might think you want to bring down the roof of the country. The consequences of that, the response and what will come after you is going to be like a rocket, a missile that you probably didn't bargain for. something Gaizama also said. The military coup is like a missile. You fire it, that's it. You just don't probably have no idea where it's going to land, what damages it's going to cause, who are going to be the victims, and therefore the judiciary should do the right thing. I know they won't. Next 2 days, less than 48 hours. It is either going to be like they pour gasoline on Nigeria and the flame is woo, woo, woo. Or they pour chilled water, very cold water, on the entire Nigeria and the Nigerians in the next, well, in less than 48 hours. To make you understand why the road to Damascus, somebody said that earlier today. They said Nigeria is on the road to Damascus. An election is rigged, like shamelessly rigged. Evidence abound. Laws were broken. Laws of Nigeria were broken. And those who broke the law, they are turning the yansh on everybody to come and do your worst. What are you going to do? Only if they had listened. I would say, maybe it wouldn't have gotten to this. I'll take you back a bit. Before I take you to Meriodili and that same gathering that we heard of yesterday. Somebody tried to stop Yakubu. You are doing it wrong. You're going to break this country. You're going to burn this country. You can't do this. This is wrong. But because the person who was saying that, Keneri Dino, had no clear credibility, it was ignored. And Nigeria is now on the way to Damascus. A throwback to when Yakubu decided to announce Tinubu at 4 a.m. in the morning. Prior to that, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. The agent of the PRP, PDP, can you please repeat what you said on the basis of the provision of the law?
I just want to quickly react to the presentation by the chairman on we are in this country, and the INEC made a press statement when uploads were not done. You even said there was no hacking of your server and all that. And everyone sitting there is either a Christian or a Muslim. And you know there was problem with uploading your results. Till this minute I'm speaking, many results have not been uploaded on your server. So you cannot be using justification that votes took place at the polling unit when INEC failed in uploading results from polling units. If you had uploaded those results immediately after vote was casted in each polling unit, we will have access to them and I will not be asking questions here. But as I speak to you, those results were not uploaded for hours. Yesterday, I complained to you, the chairman. I complained to 2 other commissioners, and in my presence, they called the rec in Imo, where even the director of ICT was saying they should use offline to upload. So if results were not uploaded, we as parties cannot be challenged that the process is over. The process is not over because it is faulty. Results were not uploaded, and if those results were not uploaded, we are definitely going to contest the authenticity of whatever presentation is being made here. And finally, sir, I want to challenge any returning officer from any state coming here, because there's penalty for you if you lie or if you alter anything. Tell us before you start your presentation that what you are presenting before cameras, that what you are presenting is what is uploaded on INEC website. Please say that and see if you have given wrong information, you will not go to jail.
Okay. Is there any agent of any party that hasn't spoken? Party agent. No, not you. Your party has spoken. Let's give the opportunity to another person. You have also spoken, PRP. Please take your seat. Let's make this orderly, in an orderly manner, please. Speak, introduce yourself.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Chinemelo Uba. I represent APP. I want to align with the submission of the PDP agent. If we take your submission, Chairman, it may seem what we are here for is mere formality, as if all has been done at the level of the ward, local government, and state. Mr. Chairman, if there is difficulty in why what he's saying cannot be done, you explain to us, maybe we understand. But what he's asking for, to my mind, is very apt. We are here as the final collation center, either to correct what has been done wrongly. We've had complaints from the ward, from the local government, from agents there. If we can upload this year, we serve as a final arbiter, so to say. Thank you, sir.
Okay. If you have any complaints, any documents that you may have, please forward them. But otherwise, we cannot be considering the report from Kwara and talking about matters arising from another state. When we come to that state, we'll talk about matters arising from that state. Which party is that, Alex?
Alex,
go ahead.
ADP.
Yes.
I stand before you and the entire world to support what the PDP agent had said. Because before now, Nigerians have waited, with abated palpitation for authenticity of this project, 2023. And the information or the education we had before now is that whatever vote is cast is transmitted upon that time. That is the education we had. But we are now hearing a different introduction of some other phrases like beavers, boycott, or whatever language is used for it. So we needed the party, the collation officer from the state, like it has been asserted, for them to do that. Let them prove to us that yes, at the point of voting, it was transmitted. Secondly, sir, I have read and I've seen that even at the point of election, some personalities in this country showed their ballot paper for the party they voted for.
Representative of the ADP.
Yes, sir.
Please, that is not before us.
Yes, I know, but I'm proactively speaking, sir.
Please, let us focus on what is before us.
Yes, but
the result for the election from Kwara.
I know, sir.
This is unending.
Allow me to learn, sir. Allow me to learn. Because we are looking at the transparency of the entire system. And if it's the entire system, if somebody shows the party he voted for, that also can be taken as vote buying. And so we have to take care of that, sir.
I wish we can confine ourselves to what is before us, consideration of the report from Kwara.
All right, sir.
Not what transpired.
In summary, I support the move of PDP, sir.
So that's all you wanted to say all this while, just to support. Okay. The second agent of the PDP, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Emeka Ihediro. Mr. Chairman, I am one of the Nigerians that have absolute confidence in this electoral process. Mr. Chairman, when there were efforts to undermine the authority of INEC, we stood firmly that INEC must be truly independent. Mr. Chairman, we're talking about the transparency of this process, and we're talking about confidence in the process. I had cause, sir, to engage you yesterday. I had cause to speak to your national commissioners yesterday. I had cause to speak to them this morning about collation and abuse of the electoral process.
And on and on and on and on. It's a long clip. I just wanted you to see the part where people actually tried to correct Yakubu that you can't do this. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is what you said you would do. You're not doing that. What I mean, and he kept cutting them off and cutting them off because he wanted to continue and complete the charade. He had no result except probably what they have already written. Abi, when he announced winner at 4 a.m. in the morning, all the political parties, all of the opposition political parties, they've already walked out of the hall. They left him there to continue with APC. Remember? And he continued. He did it. He announced and did everything like that. When it was time for him to present the result he announced, oh yeah, Tinubu scored 8.7 million. Oh yeah, show us the 8.7 million. Atiku scored 6.9 million. Oh yeah, show us the Atiku 6.9 million. Obi scored 6.1 million. Oh yeah, show us Obi 6.1 million in all of the results. By the time they presented the result, 43,000 polling unit results out of them could not be really, you can't really read them. And they're asking, where did you see the number you announced, Jen? That's how you got here. That's how the legitimacy of Tinubu remain with a big question mark. That is why a lot of people are so kind of raging that if they have their way, they will shut down Nigeria before these judges will even do anything, if they have their way. And this is the reason why the likes of Mary Odili decided to give that speech and then ran away. From the report, she and her husband, they are no longer in Nigeria. She happened to be a very good instrument when it comes to this issue of political litigation. Let me replay what she said yesterday. Now, follow this up now. After the old charade, they said people should go to court. Now, people went to court and they started doing all the dribbling. We started hearing the persuasion. Judge, they beg litigant, petitioner, judge that's supposed to come and judge a case is asking the petitioner that, do you not have the spirit of forgiveness? Are you not a Christian? In the same court. So people started raising alarm. And Mary Odili dropped this before she left Nigeria.
This colloquium and book launch in honor of Chief Kyari Gazama upon the attainment of 25 years as the senior advocate of Nigeria is an epochal achievement. It is no doubt appropriate that the theme is, quote, the Nigeria of our dreams, a call to the patriots. I say so in the light of the prevailing situation in Nigeria as a result of the 2023 general elections, which has generated a lot of storm, necessitating the conversation which we are about to indulge in, as there seems to be moves to throw the nation into chaos or conflagration. These may be brought about by some individuals and groups who, fanning the embers of hatred, bigotry, and tribalism, fail to see the possible outcomes of the utterances without caution that are being thrown around. It is human to feel cheated or having the short end of the stick, but one who is not declared a winner at any of the electoral contests, such emotions, however grim, does not justify bringing the roof down, the roof of our nation. The reason is simple, that in such an eventuality, that aggrieved person may not be spared, as the commotion that would ensue would be like an unguided missile which could land anywhere and upon anyone. Therefore, in ventilating our points of view and facts at the electoral tribunals or other courts, a sense of responsibility from all parties is demanded. The situation does not call for the blackmail of the judges or the posting of speculatory hypotheses, giving them such a life of their own, which run riot, and accepted by the hapless and innocent in the society as the truth. Knowing the quality of participants at this colloquium, and I'm happy, professional, those who are well equipped in litigation matters or electoral disputes. Chief Olonekweku is a master, and our Attorney General, recently sworn in. These are experts. I am confident.
Did you hear that? So she gaslighted those cheated and told them that they should not gaslight. I mean, they should not sort of threaten the judges. Now is asking them to do the right thing, a threat. Then she went on to say, Ero Nikpekun, that is Tinubu's lawyer at the tribunal. Fagbemi, that is APC lawyer at the same tribunal, is now the Attorney General of Nigeria. So they met inside the house of Gaizama. She's reading a prepared speech before she jackpot. Who is Mary Odili? Ladies and gentlemen, with a wiki, do me that honor, please.
I'll come to that. Most rivers who are here, they're not happy. They're not. Nobody can make me to do something that I will not. Ordinarily, I shouldn't do. No. There was a problem in this state, and I will tell you the truth. My wife wouldn't have been a magistrate. To talk of it being a judge. It's the wife. It's the wife. It's the wife that said, look, take your time. I suffered this, promoted. Look, you know me, I'm a politician, no. I'm an equerry man. It's difficult for a equerry man to allow the wife to grow like that. No, it's the truth. Forget those who can pretend that's their business. It's difficult. She was the one. When I look at my wife today, she's a judge. I look at her. I say, baby, you're a judge. Who were those who behind it? Very good. I don't know the day I will die. But I know I will die one day. But the truth must be told. Any day that I will make Dr. Lee and his family to cry, God, don't allow me to grow. These people suffered. These people suffered.
That is Werewike praising his godfather, Peter Odili, and his wife for making his own wife the judge of Nigeria High Court, Abina Appeal Courts. Remember, they have all done that. Their wives, their children, their concubines, have been plugged into that judiciary. And Wole Ironipekun, famous for bribing judges, ladies and gentlemen, is an expert to Mary Odili, who love taking bribes and offering bribes. When she gave the judgment on Bayelsa, APC no fit. I mean, this was 2000 and I think it was 2020, you know, when she gave a judgment on Bayelsa APC versus PDP. You remember this guy? This guy where they do, he was doing a parade. You know, what's they call that thing again? Like you go and do a parade before you do swearing in. So you go and do parade practice. You remember his name? That guy. It was Mary Odili that said because his deputy forged his own education certificate. Leon, I think they call him Leon or Lion. Leon, the APC governorship candidate in Bayelsa. Okay, he has already won the election. He was waiting to be sworn in. Okay, so a day before the swearing in, Mary Odili delivered a judgment on behalf of PDP. They said the deputy to Leon forged his school certificate. And because he forged the school certificate, they disqualified Leon. Okay? And they told Diri of PDP, who came second, to be sworn in as the winner. That is why Diri is the governor of Bayelsa today. And Leon, is almost in the political oblivion of Bayelsa. As Tibi Priesiva has no other job. Or to take his place, or his place rather. When Mary delivered that judgment that year, Lord do not long. Although you'll be wondering, what it concern Aboki with Bayelsa, but this was when APCs, the Alimajiri People's Congress, Abi Al Qaeda People's Congress. Just go to Abuja, you see a lot of them to hire. And they were shouting there, Bamuzo, 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 in front of Odili's house because of Bayelsa election. Just a reminder, Sha. Yeah, they went to go and tell Mary Odili, we don't want you. Bamazo, Bamazo. That was 2020, I believe. So after Mary Odili delivered that nonsense, she said, like I told you, the report is that she moved her family, including her husband. They left Nigeria. They are currently in the UK. I don't know which part of the UK, okay? But they are here, waiting for the reactions of Nigerians after Wednesday, which means they all knew what they have done. They are just looking for the right time or how to arrange it. And it won't, I'll show you Ronnie Kwekun at the same place before I go to Gazama himself. Ronnie Kwekun, that same space where Mary Odili was reading. Others were actually speaking. Listen to Ronnie Kwekun.
Why can't we think of giving Nigeria a name that is indigenous to us? Ghana change, Burkina Faso, all of them. We have given all the examples. The French, in their territory, the nation next to us, they named that nation Niger. I won't be saying Nigeria. So the French, in citizen of Niger, is Nigerian. So a citizen of Nigeria, from the British perspective, is a Nigerian. What's the difference?
According to Mr. Olanipekun, there cannot be a new Nigeria without true federalism.
There is master servant in what we practice today. We say we have a constitution that we call Federal Republic of Nigeria, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's more of Constitution of the Federal Unitary Republic of Nigeria.
It is smoky Igbo. It is taking them.
So, Ironic Pekun was talking about renaming Nigeria. Another name. Maybe you are. Somebody suggested you are the last time. So maybe change, renewed name. And then federalism and other nonsense. I just wanted you to see his face, okay? But Gaizama, their host at the colloquium, actually warned them. He was talking about the coup, what led to the coup in Niger, what led to coup in Gabon, and how his own friends reacted within their circle of elites. They also wish the God that did it for Gabon should do it for Nigeria. And somebody like him is worried. So he had to tell all of his lawyer friends and judge friends, retired and the rest of them at the colloquium. I think you should listen to that too. If you listen to that of Mary or Dili.
Something happened recently, and I felt so bad, and my heart bleeds for this country. Remember, about 4 days ago, we had the news that there was another coup in Gabon. We saw the flash, and I forwarded to a few friends that are close to me. Someone responded, of course, I won't mention the name, that I wish that the coupists in Gabon can come into Nigeria and help us with our situation. But you see, I also listened to what President Jonathan said recently, that we should all be careful in this country, particularly politicians, that the young ones know their rights to the extent that anything can happen. And what happened during the NSAS, they almost got there. Now, I also listened to Babangida. If you look at, I think, AIT, you will see every now and then his interview with the press. And he was narrating and chronicling the reasons why in most jurisdictions coup d'etats do come up. One, principally because of corruption, and also probably because of electoral rigging. Well, like we were told by the keynote speaker, or the guest speaker, or the guest baby, you see, coup or war, it's like football. You don't know who will win and who will lose. It's like biscuit, you don't know where it will crack. Anybody can be the victim. Nobody should wish for any coup or any war. And even what happened in the past, in the 60s, we are yet to come out of that. The effect is still colossal, negative effect for that matter. So this is my feeling about that. We were told by Abraham Lincoln that the best way or the fastest way to destroy a nation is by dividing it. I don't think any one of us here would like Nigeria to be divided. Nobody will wish Nigeria to be divided, despite the fact that we've been told the history of how the colonial masters brought us together, now under one geographical entity called Nigeria, despite all kinds of differences. But that notwithstanding, we as believers in our destinies, we still accept being together, and I think we should work on being together. After all, we all hail from God, from the same Adam and Eve, despite whatever primordial differences we may be having among ourselves. I remember also Bob Castle did say that we all have to have hands on deck, because if we don't do that, it's a question of time. The successes that we already have will be erased, and we'll find ourselves back to the drawing board, back to square one, as if nothing has happened. So we must remember, as Nigerians, as elites, that no one will do for us but we ourselves. So I think that is the clear message, which was put across to us lucidly by way of a very good and qualitative presentation, both in terms of the paper as well as the style of presentation. And just like His Royal Highness, the Chair of Bododisi, I remember nostalgically that yes, I was.
and on and on and on. So, he practically said it to their faces that even us that pretends to be elite, following the development all around us in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, there are people who actually feel this way. There are many, many of us here that are going to share on the either revolution or military coup in Nigeria, to the shock of some of you here. And if you look at what has caused all of this coup in Africa lately, elections, electoral problems, electoral fraud, then the corruption that has also increased, the level of poverty and crime. So all these things are there. And despite all of other factors that this Nigeria that you are in, I think it is ideal to tell all of you that when you are digging the grave, for those who believe that you could use the power you have right now to bury, some people are advising that you better don't dig it deep, because that may actually be your own grave, and contributing to it, it doesn't happen overnight. He was talking about the anger of the youth, the same anger of the youth that doesn't mean any jack shit to APC. If any youth come out, kill them, shoot them, they are so confident. Well, Gaizama was telling them there that these young people are knowing that they are growing to know their right even more and more. And they are growing impatient too. That it's just going to take a single spark. And that's it. Saying it to their faces there. But you know the likes of Wiri, Wike and Co. When logical reasoning comes to play, they are not candidate of such. Wiri Wike decided to, when he was asked, because he was talking about wait for the tribunal. After the tribunal, you will see what will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the copy of what the tribunal, Nigeria Court of Appeal. This is the notice of, on the left, the one on the left. That is the notice for the judgment delivery date. As you can read down on your screen, right? Between Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, APM, Allied People's Movement. So they are saying that they are going to televise it, they are going to stream it live. So they're going to allow media, the people that said they were not, they were never going to be, they won't allow the media coverage of the proceeding. Now that they have prepared their documents, judgment, they don't want anybody in court. Okay, look at that part where they said, important notes, access to the court premises will be strictly on accreditation only. Only accredited individuals, including counsel and representatives of the political parties, will be granted access into the courtroom. Interested members of the public are advised to watch proceedings from their television sets. Where electricity, where you go take watch, or where is the data, where you go take a streamer. So to be part of that, you can call in to book a seat for Wednesday. On the right is the National Union of Bank, Insurance and Financial Institution employees, including all the court workers. The Nigerian judiciary have told all the court workers not to come to court on Wednesday. They have also, banks are not going to open because of the national strike, by the way, that NLC said they are going to embark on. Right. Now that they've made the date an announcement, and we know that the reason why they have to do it on Wednesday is that they can actually use the NLC national strike to control the response or reactions of people to the tribunal judgment. So in the state of confusion there, You know what I mean? So the momentum can be killed. And in the midst of all of that confusion, they will tell you it doesn't matter. No. Wait for Supreme Court so that you can wait for maybe another 3-4 months. Okay? And the whole thing will repeat itself again. Anyway, so part of what we have heard is that the reasons why they need to deliver that judgment on Wednesday and damn any consequences is that, like I said from the beginning, Kolu need legitimacy. Their verdict, and listen to this, it wouldn't kind of, it's going to be like, why is everybody going mad? Like, do you all know the content of the judgment? Just same question people are asking. Those who are telling everybody to accept it, accept the defeat, because Tinubu won. Somebody like this, the NBA chairman, who said, president rather, until the court says it didn't win, everybody should stop calling Tinubu illegitimate. So, the question goes vice versa, okay? If you look at those who are saying, we don't trust these guys, all their body language and what we know about them is that they're going to throw this whole thing out and they're going to say there's no enough evidence or whatever they're going to say, because that's what they do. And if they do that, there will be consequences, kind of, right? And people are saying, how do you know they're going to rule against you? If you are confident that you've presented all your evidence, why are you worried? Right? And they say, well, it's Nigeria. We know them very well. They will change the narrative. They have already started gaslighting people. So they have been using churches and other religious houses to tell people to accept it as a will of God. They have already started wetting the ground, making it look like this is what is coming. Don't listen to anybody that tells you not to take it and all of that. So we don't trust them. Meanwhile, the other part too, who are also telling everybody to accept it, don't cause problem. Don't bring chaos. Like accept the judgment. All of you, especially you, the obedient, stop talking like you are talking. Just accept whatever happened. So people are now saying, why are you telling them to accept something that you believe will upset them? Have you seen the judgment yourself? Is that why you are trying to gaslight them to accept it? So now vice versa. Vice versa. So no tribe thinks no be everybody. Now everybody they para now. And it's good. We know say they will declare Tinubu. And if I wake up on that Wednesday afternoon, and the shocker, is that breaking news. Tinubu has been disqualified. A rerun has been ordered. Abi Peter Obi has been declared. Abi Atiku has been something like that, Don't come here and say, you see, Mayegun, I told you, Mayegun, this one is a different thing. I told you that the court, they no bond them well. I say, Baba, calm down. Now all of us, they tell ourselves. The bottom line is that, if the right thing is done, a lot of you will not be agitated. You know that. If the wrong thing is done, you will be agitated. So those who are suspecting that you will be agitated, they know why you will be agitated. So if your pressure true has forced them to do the right thing, then you win. There's no pressure. Sure you get. But the worry here is this. When they ask Were Wike, what do you think? What will happen? What if the court now rule that Tinubu lost? Just to explain to you how that now everybody they feel that way. Tinubu people will tell you it's impossible. How? Who's going to read the judgment? It's impossible. Then the God I serve, the God that I serve, you know that thing? Can never he can never bring me here and then put me to shame. They switch it to God, which means everybody is kind of, even though a lot of people are seeing the confidence in them, having realized how badly they did,